can't get up my back. Okay, there we go. Are you still recording?
Yeah, I'm still recording. Are you ready?
Oh man.
I'm so nervous.
Bring the action.
So nervous.
We're gonna put you guys on pause. Just sit there and have your drink, okay? We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. So when we last left it, I was broken.
Yeah.
So there was about 4 or 5 days in there where I couldn't do. I was pretty incapacitated. I was not able to do very much at all. I was on pain meds for about a week. Unfortunately, we got stuff to do. So it was all on her. We had just a little bit of keel sanding left to do, and Mesha took over.
I did do some of the grinding on the outside. Kate had done most of the grinding on the outside up until this point, so it was nice to be able to help out with that, and it wasn't too bad.
Right, we did it in the evenings. We do a lot of our work in the evenings.
Yeah, it just gets so hot out here during the daytime with temperatures in the mid-90s and the heat index around or above 100 degrees. It's really hot, so it's hard to get out and do work in the middle of the day. It has to be early in the morning or late at night. So it's easier for us with our schedules to get work done at night and stay up a little bit later because of having to take care of the dogs in the morning and just chores that we have to do.
So that's actually pretty much done. We're ready to address that seam next week. We have made a friend who's been doing fiberglass for a long time, and he was willing to come in and give some of his time and his expertise to teach us fiberglass, because we have a lot to do, and we've never fiberglassed. Right? This is all, I mean, you can watch YouTube U, and that's great, but do one now. We've seen one.
Right.
So we brought him in, and he showed us how to mix up thickened structural epoxy to fill some small voids on our keel stub. And he showed us how to apply heavy glass to a vertical surface, which is trickier than it sounds. And showed us it's not rocket science.
Start here. We're looking for peanut butter. Peanut butter. Maybe a little thicker than that.
Is that the Cavicil or whatever it is?
Yeah, this is Aerosil. It's structural filling material that will not absorb water, so it's what you'd want to use for below the water line.
Okay.
The Q-cell stuff is anything above.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But this is the
high
this
price.
is the structural stuff. Okay, you can see where we are there. We need a lot more. So.
Okay, good.
But
That should be just like inert silica, right? Or
yeah,
glass beads.
It's forget what it is.
Well, now it's getting thick.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's actually perfect.
Okay.
See, we got a little heat building in the cup, which you could feel, which it'll. This stuff is pretty resilient.
Okay, sure.
The thickened stuff will kick a little faster, but I mean, you probably have a pot life on this of, I would say, 20 minutes.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, just want to get it in there, just like you're doing drywall.
We've done that. It sucks.
Yeah, you just want to get it in there. So I'll just push it in there. So it's got some pressure on it, so it'll you know,
Right, you're trying to
it'll-
fill the voids.
yeah, and bond against that glass. You know,
So once this dries, will we come back then and grind the bottom of it to get the 5200 in there? Or is this fine as it is?
yeah, this is fine just as it is.
So that outside got done. Next day, time to knock out the inside, and we got to rush on this.
We're starting with the center bilge first because it's all prepped and ready to go.
So we had ground it down really heavily, and it looked really good. And we went in there to clean really well, and from above, with lots of dust in the air, through a mask, it looked like we did a really good job of grinding.
Really, yeah. If you take your contacts out and you squint really hard.
But once we got our faces down inside it, right? There's a radius, and from the top and from this angle, it looked great. And from this angle, we could see there was a lot of tab left. There were some tabs that came down a little far that I had to go in with the cutoff wheel to get out. So we tried to get those out with the cutoff wheel. One of them came right out. So we ground all this out, and we thought we were mostly done. We did the corners, we sanded into the corners and everything, and got it all nice and cleaned up. But there's a little bit of the tab left on the hull, right around the radius. Okay, so I'm going to show you where the tab, there's leftover tab that we need to pull off. So you can see this area here, and there's a seam there, right? You can see the edge. And then down in here especially, you can actually see where the tab is delaminated a little off of the hull. This is hull, and this is tab. You can see along that seam there. So we just need to pull this back a little more. And it's very obvious, right, that this and this are two separate sections of fiberglass. So we're going to pull this back down. You can see the lump here. This is hull that comes up and then hits this lip. And that lip is the tab. And we're just going to grind that down so that we get to the raw hull, because we're going to re-tab from about here all the way up to about here. We're going to do 6 layers, and we're going to stagger them. So we'll have 1 layer to here, to here, here, here. So 2 inches down, all the way down. And then we're going to do an 8-inch strip just for reinforcing just in this section there. So it'll be 5 layers from down there all the way up. And then a 6th layer to reinforce 4 inches on either side of that. So let's grind all that off. The cutoff wheel, one of them came right out, and one of them was a little persnickety. One of them was a little difficult, so we knew we were going to be grinding out tabs. We just waited till we had all our suits on and the grinder out, and then we took off that other stuck-on tab. Okay, so we're done with the grinding down here. Now, we talked about removing those tabs. And to show you how we got those tabs, we know we got those tabs off. This is our actual hull, and you can see the actual fibers in the hull when I wipe it down with alcohol. And now you can see them all the way down. So we know we got the tab off and didn't go too deep into the hull, because you can see these fibers going all the way down. So now I feel like we're ready for some glass.
Woo!
You ready to do some? I know how many times have I said we're glassing, but you know what, guys? This is real. We're glassing.
We're glassing.
I can't get up my back. Okay, there we go. Are you still recording?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
All right, everybody knows I cracked a rib. So, woke up early in the morning and cut glass.
So we got an early start this morning. We have some fiberglassing to do today. We're going to cut our pieces of fiberglass and get to glassing, because today we have to finish the center bilge. We're in crunch time now, so we have to get this center bilge done today.
Initially, we had like regular paper scissors. Oh my God, no. Even good, sharp, like office scissors, no.
We could have been out there all day trying to cut fiberglass without much success.
Oh my goodness. We went to a big box store and got some heavy fabric shears. They're good for cardboard and heavy fabrics. And leather and things like that. Man, like butter.
They made a world of difference. It made it go so smoothly.
So yeah, for the keel outside, we had this regular office scissors, and right, I probably could have done faster chewing through it. So at this point, we're ground, we're clean. Let's lay some fiberglass. So we're using Total Boat epoxy and hardener. We're using the slow hardener. So this is a 5-to-1 mix. Total Boat comes with the package we got comes with 2 pumps, one for the resin, which is 20 cc pump, one for the hardener, which is a 4 cc pump. That's 5-to-1, 1 pump of each. Makes it work out perfect. So what we're going to do first is wet the whole area with epoxy and let that slowly cure, maybe even hit it with a heat gun until it gets tacky, so that our fabric will stay up on the vertical surface. We will wet that again before we put any fabric on it. So there will be a fresh batch of very wet epoxy on top of a very sticky epoxy. We'll put the glass on it at that point, and then the glass doesn't have to absorb through this side. The glass will hit this side and it soak up all of that wet. It'll hit that already tacky and create our bond. Then we'll wet and keep layering up while it's wet on that side. So the first step is to mix up a small batch enough to wet the whole inside. This is not the batch that we're glassing with, just a layer to put down to get everything tacky. So let's start with that. Okay, so we have this 1-inch thick hard foam we got from a big box store. When we ground out the bilges, there was actually pieces of wood fiberglassed into our tabs to hold up our battery box in that center. Aft of that, there was also a chunk of wood that had completely rotted out that was used to mount a shower sump box to. Come off really easy.
Yeah, look at this flat. Yeah. Oh, wow.
So we are going to use foam instead of wood so it will never rot, and fiberglass that in. So I'm cutting the pieces of that for our center bilge right now. So.
I will say that I thought that the grinding was going to be the absolute worst part of it, and it was. Don't get me wrong, the grinding is horrible. It makes dust everywhere and it's just a mess, and it's terrible, and you have to wear the respirator and masks and everything. But the laying of the fiberglass was so much more stressful, I feel like, because the demo work is pretty easy for the most part, and it's when you get to the technical part of it where you have to do everything right and in a specified amount of time before the epoxy starts to kick, and you're fighting against time and you're trying to get it right and you've never done it before, and that was, for me, super stressful.
That's fair. That's the skilled craftsman part, and we are not skilled craftsmen.
Right. We are stark newbies, and we didn't have anybody here to supervise this part of it. So
right? They left the kids at home alone with epoxy.
That was scary. And we did end up using the wrong rollers. So we found foam rollers, no-lint foam rollers, and we got those. And they worked great.
They worked great. Mm-hmm. However, because of their surface area, when they kick, dang, they smoke.
They started to smoke and sizzle, and the rollers were literally cooking in the pans.
Yeah, so they would cook way before the actual epoxy would cook. So I don't. We're not going to buy them again. We're not going to buy those rollers again. But I don't think that it was a bad choice.
They worked great while we were using them. I mean, hopefully
we just
they
went
weren't leaving.
every layer. What you don't see when you see the fiberglass laid up, what you don't see is every layer. We changed rollers.
Yes, we did.
Every layer.
So we
did 6 layers plus the battery box support. That's 7 layers. So we originally started with 2 rollers, 1 each.
Yeah.
We went through 9 rollers. And after the first layer, only one of us had a roller and one of us had a little bubble thingy, whatever that.
Bubble popper, the little metal roller with the little ridges on it that you roll out the air bubbles. I don't know. I'm sure there's a special name for it, but I don't know what it is. But that thing is helpful too.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That's you can't do a fiberglass without it. But yeah, so crazy amounts of roller. So not going to buy those rollers again, but they worked great.
I do wish that we had been able to put something in that gap there, but we did it according to the way the way
Hunter did it.
The way that Hunter did it the first time around, and with that many layers, hopefully it bonds well. And,
we went way thicker than they originally went, and we went way bigger than they originally went. So we're thicker, we're longer. That's what the ladies like.
So at this point, you guys ignore him. Turd. So we finished all of this at about 3:30 a.m. last night. We got cleaned up. We cleaned up the salon. We put the floorboard back in place, and we left it. And at this point in time, as of this recording, we have not lifted that floor panel to check on it and make sure it's still holding up. For all we know, it could have all fallen apart.
Oh my God. I'm like 1,000,000% sure it is the most strong thing ever. As soon as we're done with this, we're going to record us pulling those panels up, and you can watch Mesha's elation at how awesome we did.
I am about to pull up the floor panel. This is our center bilge where we did our fiberglassing yesterday, and we finished up at about 3:30 in the morning, and we put the floor panel back in place, and we haven't checked on it since. Are you ready?
Oh man.
I'm so nervous.
Bring the action.
I'm so nervous. Look at that. It looks like actual real fiberglass. I think it's dry.
It better be.
Oh, it feels hard.
That's what
It feels hard. It is super. Oh, that's super strong. Oh, yay. Oh, I think we did good. We have to sand it a little bit because it's a little rough, but
are you happy?
I think we did good.
Yay.
I am very happy. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous.
That's it for this one. We want to send a special shout out to our Patreon members. Thank you so much. They give a couple bucks a video, and they keep this journey alive. If you're interested in supporting the cause and want real-time updates and more interaction with us, and as soon as we hit the water, actual say and where we go and what we do, go to patreon.com/forloveofwind and join the League of Mariners.
The League of Mariners.
The League of Mariners. You can also check out Mesha's blog on forloveofwind.com. Those come out once a week. Yep.
Every Wednesday.
Yep.
I even put that out there on Facebook every Wednesday, so I'm obligated now.
Oh yeah, no pressure.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell and follow us on social media. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
There's supposed to be fuzz here. There's not supposed to be fuzz here.